can you just talk about the involvement of this linebacker group over the years? You're a veteran, obviously.
Yeah, I think that this, I know this linebacker room is full of guys that's hungry, a lot of competition, a lot of guys. I mean, you're gonna make mistakes, but you know in the back of your mind, you really can't make a mistake, man, because there's somebody behind you, and that's what you need, man. You need competition, and it makes you better. It makes you better as a team, and it makes you better as a unit and as an individual. And I think over the years we've had glimpses of that, but this year in this fall camp, it's been very consistent every day. You know, every guy's competing, every position. So I love it, man, because you can't. You gotta do every little thing right, you know, and it's gonna make you better.
Has it pushed you? Like, do you feel like
100%, man. Yeah, I've been pushed. Kiko's pushed me. K4 even has pushed me. Wesley, KJ, everybody's being pushed, and Coach D moves everyone around. So, and he'll do it just like randomly, you know. So you got to be ready. You got to know the playbook. You got to be prepared. So it makes you study. Makes you study consistently. And I was already a film junkie myself, but knowing what everyone's doing, consistent, knowing if the jack is dropping to the boundary, knowing everything consistently, you know, and that makes you better, not only as a player, but just in general. It makes you better because you know what everybody's doing.
Can you talk a little bit more about that? Because like we know you're a big film guy. What are some of the things that stand out to you most about the new defensive scheme?
A lot of movement up front. I can't wait to display it. And a lot of blitzes. Coach D is very aggressive, and I love that. Kind of reminds me of my high school coach, Coach Cross. He's very aggressive, and we love it. He brings energy, he brings juice. He blitzes us a lot of green dogs. So we're a very aggressive defense. So that's what I like about it. And then we can also just drop 8 randomly out of the same look. So it's exciting, man.
With Francisco coming in, how has that changed your role, and where do you feel you excel the most? Inside, a little bit outside?
Right. With Francisco coming in, and KJ also, which you asked specifically about Francisco. Man, Francisco is a really good human being. The biggest thing for him is, man, I love him more, man, off the field, man, because he's such a cool, mellow, and quiet guy. When he's on the field, you know, he's just, and for me, I like it a lot because it pushes me. We help each other. He told me the other day that I drift a lot when I drop, so I fixed that. So, you know, so little things like that, having a guy like that, competing with every day, and we're going back and forth, it's just making me better as a player, you know. And for me, I got to be able to embrace that and accept that. So, and I'm glad that Coach Cristobal brought him and his brother Cece. Cece's a hell of a talent as well. And we all excited that those guys came in.
Well, where do you feel you're playing better?
Honestly, I feel like I'm playing better inside and outside, man. That's like I was saying, Coach D-Nick has moved everyone around. I think the biggest thing for me was my tackling, man, because, you know, my foot injury, I was conservative with tackling, and I lacked my tackling skills to my foot. So Coach D-Nick has got me back comfortable to being myself, stepping on the players' toes, and, you know, not missing those tackles. So I think that's the biggest thing that I've emphasized this fall camp is my tackling, and Coach D-Nick is in my pass drops also. Like I said, Francisco called it out about me, like when I dropped, not drifted and selling. So.
Coach Guidry did mention the other day about, you know, your foot being healthy now. How much did that kind of like keep you limited a bit in the spring, and how much more do you feel like you're able to go now?
Yeah, so man, it kept me. They took care of me a lot during the spring. They kept me off my feet. And I thank Coach Cristobal and the training staff for that. I came in every day. I take rehab like it was practice. And again, man, I studied the playbook during the spring, and I had to get my foot healthy, man, because you know, all season last year wasn't where I wanted to be at, and it changed it affected my game, you know. So now I'm feeling like 100%, and I'm just getting back to my old self, you know. And I can't thank Coach Guidry and Coach D-Nick enough for pushing me and bringing in guys like Kiko and KJ so I can compete. You know, because at the end of the day, I'm competing not just them, but guys all over the country. You know, so bringing guys like that, long, lengthy guys that, you know, prototype, you know, NFL linebackers I can compete with every day. I love it.
What was the injury specifically?
Honestly, I don't know the exact specific injury. I know it was like my foot, like outside my foot.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So.
Corey, Guidry said that the playbook is a little difficult, especially for the younger linebackers to grasp. It's a little more complicated maybe than your last defense. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yes, the defense, I know ball. So for me, my dad taught me ball at a young age. So I know ball really well. But I want to say it's complicated. All ball is all the same. You know, it's just different guys doing different jobs, doing different assignments. So once they understand that and grasp that, they'll get it. And they're starting to get it. Popo, Marcellus, Molly, they're starting to get it. It's only day 6 now, you know. And these guys weren't here. They weren't here in the spring. They just got here. So it was all fresh to them. And honestly, I'm very impressed with Popo, the way he's come along and attacked adversity, because in the first couple of days, it was kind of like yesterday. I mean, not the day before yesterday and today. It was really like his best practices. He's been consistent. He's been getting it. And because, you know, coming out of high school, it's like a lot of freelancing and just running, looking at the court and playing ball. Now you have a job, you have the assignment. And Coach D-Nick has done a really good job with all of us. Like he makes the young guys get on the board and draw all 11, 22 guys. Make sure whatever all 22 guys are doing. So they're getting it and they're learning it. Yes, man.
Last two for Corey. Corey, why do you think that the competition in linebacker has increased this year? And I guess what role have you played in that increase in competition?
Yeah, like I said, man, he brought in guys like KJ and Francisco. Both of those guys were guys at their school, you know. So you bring in dudes like that, you know, and for me, it's very exciting. K4 as well, we are very excited because we get to compete with guys like that every day, you know, because those guys are the same guys all around the country. There's guys like that all around the country, man. So they bring a lot of competition to the room, and I mean, we just embrace it. And the thing I love it about it the most, it's no jealousy, it's no envy. It's all, we're all trying to get better together. If we see something, I think KJ was telling Wes the other day, like put his foot up this way when you blitz, you know. So, and I was telling you about how Francisco was telling me about my drop, and I was telling him about, it's just little things, you know, and it's good competition, and that's the most thing that I like about it the most.
Have you seen Wesley improve from like the end of last season to now?
Yeah, man, Wesley Bassane is a pure natural athlete, very talented, and he's improved a lot. You know, he's going to emerge. I plan on him having a big season, man. I love Wesley, man. He's just getting comfortable in the defense, and once he really gets his feet, you know, sunk into it, you know, the rest is history, man.
Cool. Thanks, Corey.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Have a good one.